Hello, it's Kate from Push. Happy New Year. This is Bear the Cavapoo, if you haven't met before. And I really wanted to do a video because we're coming up towards the end of Jan. And we've been talking a lot about the dreaded self-sabotage. And I really wanted to do a video to kind of talk about it and to talk about kind of what you can do about it in order to be able to beat it. And I suppose the first thing is that I guess I kind of want to put it out there and say that I don't really believe in self-sabotage. I don't know if you've seen in the earlier videos that I've done talking about the language that we use and how actually the language that you use can either propel us forward or it can have real power over us. And I suppose I feel a little bit nervous about the term self-sabotage just because it feels like something has control over us. And ultimately, I kind of don't believe in that. What I believe in is the fact that in that one moment, we all make a choice to go for a short-term win over a long-term goal. And I suppose once you start getting your head around that and the fact that even in that moment you're still in control but you're making a decision one way versus the other, then that feels like the power is very much back in your hands. To bring it to life a little bit, I'm going to be really honest. I actually stopped drinking over Christmas, in fact just before Christmas, and was really intending to see it through at least to the end of the January, if not longer. Anyway, and was feeling absolutely brilliant about this, and a bit brilliant in terms of how I was feeling physically, but also really mentally as well. However, early in January, I went out for some dinner with some friends, and it was a group of friends I hadn't seen for ages, and I was really excited about it. And I got swept up in the moment, and I was kind of like, actually, this is just a really perfect time to be having a glass of wine. And I lost clarity. I lost clarity of what it was that what I was doing, what the ultimate goal was. And in that moment, the short-term goal of having a drink that evening, really kind of stuck with me more. Consequently, I did drink. Consequently, I did feel crappy the next day. Consequently, I have gone back to not drinking. But I suppose the point is that, I really recognised that actually the thing was in that moment that I went for that short-term goal. So I suppose that my point to you is if you want to stick with what your goals are and to not sabotage yourself, or more to the point, choose the short-term win over the long-term goal, here are 5 brilliant points to be able to stick to. The first one is to get really, really, really clear on what the behaviour is, right? So for me, obviously it's drinking. So getting real clarity on what that behaviour is, rather than it being something that's a little bit nebulous or a little bit broader. So get really clear on that. The second one is to get very clear on why you want to change it, i.e. what is the goal? So for me, the reason for changing it with drinking is that I know when I'm not drinking, I'm a lot more productive, I'm a lot more clear-headed, I feel better mentally and physically, and actually I've got some pretty good big goals this year in terms of what I want to achieve, both for the business and obviously for me physically as well. What pain does it cause me? What pain does it cause me? And I think in that moment, to fast forward sometimes to what would happen the following day, rather than what would happen that night, is a really good way of keeping me on track for why I'm actually not doing it. So think about the pain maybe it's caused me previously and how I might feel the following day. Thinking as well, having a plan of what can I do to change that behaviour or to distract me from it. So interrupting that normal pattern. So for something like drinking, it would be maybe I'll book in a gym class the following day. Maybe if like one of my triggers is around Friday evening, going home and cooking instead, or maybe seeing a friend who doesn't drink, something that will actually mean that I'm doing something different rather than always putting myself in that situation. And then finally, who else might it benefit beyond myself? And the reason for saying that is that in many instances, we don't often have that accountability for ourselves, but someone else could give us leverage. So I know, for example, if I'm hungover, I'm not going to be looking after her, and maybe I'm not going to be quite so much there for the team. So, and things like that are certainly things that will give me leverage to kind of stick with not drinking, or in many instances, whatever that other thing might be that I want to stick to. So I really hope that those 5 points work. If you watch on after this, then we'll put all of them up so you can have a look at them. Have a really good day.